And good morning, everyone. Magandang umaga po. Welcome to The Rich Mind. Today we're going to have a very special episode. We're going to be talking about how to make money work for you. If ever you have friends who you think or relatives who you think is going to be um, what do you call this? Who's going to be benefiting from this video a lot, please share this to your Facebook walls and to your groups if ever you have any groups, and to your families. Please share the video so that marami naman tayo matulungan at maturuan natin about financial literacy. Today we're gonna be joined by Mr. John Penetrante, the handsome person that you're seeing on the screen right now. John, you can say hi to them.
Hi everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Sir Lord.
All right. So just to introduce John, John is an entrepreneur, and at the same time a stock. No, he's also into stock market, but he is more an expert into real estate investing, right? So that's one of our topics for today. Let me just share my screen really quick so that I can share to you our slides in a bit. Okay. Sorry. Nope, not the presentation. There we go. So, medyo may delay lang sa slides kanina, but everything's okay now. So, yes, if you have any questions along the way, please, what do you call this? Please share this, share your thoughts and put it on the comments so we will be able to read your comments, right? We want to say hi to Joe Salak, Joseph Tanel, Francis Failan, Chris Canilan, Joe Ligares, David Gore, Sean Salumbides, Mike 16. Good morning, Ed. So, let's start ahead. Okay, the presentation today is titled "Ways to Make Money Work for You," and I want to shout out. This is from the Wise Investor. This is gonna be the future pen name. I mean, not the pen name, but the slogan of our co-host here, Mr. John Penetrante. And
Yes.
the logos below are one of our topics for today, but medyo stocks na ito. So we're gonna discuss that about last, because we're gonna be sharing to you investing, a general overview about stocks investing also, because that's
Ye-
one way to make your money work for you.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, Sir Lord, to add,
Yes.
the reason why it's wise investor because I'm also we're all busy, right, in our everyday lives, and then in stock market, sometimes you have no time to actually monitor it. So
Right.
that's why I'm developing this, the wise investing. So you can do whatever you want, but at the same time you can still get profit
Very good.
in terms of capital gains in this type of aspect. So I'm really excited to know more and how to do that. So go.
All right. So this is a way to make your Saturdays fruitful and productive one. So never stop learning, 'di ba? I'm gonna be sharing to you some of my strategies on how I am managing my funds, my savings, where do I place them, so that
Mhm.
I will get the efficiency that I need in achieving financial freedom, 'di ba? So, I always say this to everyone, wag po sa bangko ninyo linalagay ang savings ninyo. So, we're gonna be sharing to you opportunities, how to manage your funds. But before we go to opportunities, we go to the basic
Ye-
concepts first before we want to teach you where to place it. So, this is gonna be around an hour and a half worth of talks, and then if we still have time, we can discuss questions of everyone. I'll try to write them down as much as I can. All right, to start with this first slide, Mr. John, can you share what this is?
Yes. To give you an introduction, no. So I started not really late, but already almost 30 in terms of financial planning because I realized back then when I was starting working as an employee, and until now I'm still an employee, by the way. Wala ako naipon. So as in from that time I actually proposed at the time I got married. I have zero balance in my account. And then when nagkaroon na ng baby, then naisip ko na I'm very working hard, but ba't walang nangyayari sa finances ko? And that's why it's very important to actually plan our finances. And then when I talk to people about financial matters, and then this is what I really funny, but this is what I really get the reactions from them, no? So for mga like taga Cebu, ang lagi sinasabi, it's ay, kapoy kaya na because my life is very busy already, nakakapagod to talk about these things. And then marami na kasi akong gasto, so I have no time to learn, I have no time to invest because school ng bata, tuition is actually very high, di ba? So, at the same time, yung the ones that are, of course, comfortable already, so comfortable with what I have right now, but they're not thinking about tomorrow already. So, and also there are people like even me before saying that I want to learn, but I have no time, and I really don't know where to start. I know most of our audience can relate to this. Na they don't know where to start. They don't even know how to open up a broker account. So that's why we're here to tackle that. And last but not the least, the one of the myth is they think of the stock market, even investing is only for the rich
Tama.
and always for the risk taker. But as we uncover things in this topic, I'm very confident na it's not just about the rich because I even started at 5,000, and then as I learn, you can actually manage your risk along the way. Because money, if it's important to you, I definitely agree na you will find a way.
Tama.
But if money is not important, you will find a lot of excuses as well. Tama, Sir Lloyd, no?
Tama,
Diba?
definitely. So yeah, very very important. I always say this to everyone. When it comes to becoming rich, I believe it's easy. Para sa akin, madali lang maging mayaman. Ang pinakamahirap lang talaga. I mean, because for me, it's easy because there are only two basic things you need talaga. Dalawa lang. But these two are, ito na yung medyo challenging. Because it's all about mindset. Mindset can always be changed. That's why I think it's easy. It's not difficult to change your mindset. And it's really up to the person. Kung gusto mo talaga yumaman, you can change your mindset on your own if you decide to be one. Then next is the discipline. Pero very important, kasi nga lang maraming Pilipino hindi disiplinado when it comes to, generally speaking, when it comes to pagiging magastos, right? Yan yung pinakamalaking sakit sa Pinoy, right? Very one key is discipline with your finances, right? So those two, because dalawa lang kailangan talaga natin maging mayaman. That's why I always say it's easy. It just needs the mindset and the discipline. Okay? So let's move forward. Let me go back to the presentation. Right. Alright. So, yan. John?
Yes. So, but at the end of the day, the only guaranteed in life is actually, di ba may trending nga kahapon, Sir Lloyd, na may isang police car tapos ang daming humahabol na mga other police car, which is the bills and the bills, di ba? So, even if you stop working today and even stop earning, the spending never stop kasi that's actually the problem, and that's why it's very important to actually plan and handle the finances because nakakapagod magtrabaho, and then bills is actually catching up every 15 and 30th, diba, of the month. So yun. So at the same time, if you can move to the next slide, if you have a child right now na who's 3-year-old today, if you want to send her to college like UST, just to give an example, every year it increases around 5%. So at the time na gusto mo siyang paaralin, you need at least 1 million pesos already.
Alright, so can you break that down? So first year, can you break this down? How did we come up with the 1 million peso?
Yes. So if the school increases averagely around 5.5% in UST, and then the current value per year is 111,000, by the time na magka-college at 2034, you need to at least need 234 only in just the tuition fee on the first year.
Tuition fee pa lang ito. So wala pa
Tuition
itong
renta, wala pang baon, wala pang, di ba, mga kailangan sa school. And then the overall projected cost, if you just for the tuition fee alone, if you add the 4 years, that's what we come up with the 1 million.
1 million. Right. So ito yung isa sa mga gusto kong baguhin sa mga Pilipino talaga. So when it comes to tayo kasi, nakagawin natin is, if ever meron tayong anak, hindi natin pinaghahandaan yung college fees ng mga anak natin. Diba? I started very guilty with this nung nagkaanak ako. Parang YOLO lang. Hindi ko inisip yung college niya. Ang inisip ko lang is, when he goes to college, then that's when she goes to college, that's when I'm gonna be crossing the bridge. That's
Yes.
when I'm gonna be talking about it. So, ang ending ngayon, ang dami pong nasa school na mga bata na, ma, tuition fee na, I mean, pambayad na exam na, kailangan pa namin babayad. Sige, anak, mag-promissory muna tayo. I'm gonna look for money this month. So, kung kailan pa nandyan na sa college ang anak natin, saka pa tayo naghahanap ng pera. Right? The dangerous thing about that is, what if, these are the what ifs in life, what if 10 years along the way from today, something happens to us at hindi na tayo healthy, hindi na tayo makapagtrabaho, hirap na tayong maghanap ng pera, are we gonna be sacrificing the future of our the education of our kids because of that? Kasi YOLO tayo mag-isip, 'di ba? So we want to change that. So at least mabigay po namin sa inyo yung perspective of how much you have to prepare as early as now, right? Simulan niyo na po yung 1 million na yan habang bata pa ang kids niyo, habang hindi pa nagka-college. Go ahead, John.
So I definitely agree, no? So 10 to 20 years from now, your kids will either be eating or starving from your financial decisions you made today. So that's why if may Manila tayo na USTF, you go to Siliman, which is supposedly mas mura, but if you actually, it's very close lang to the projected tuition fee that we're looking at. So it's almost 1 million already as well. So that's why it's very important to actually just not even just this one. It's just tuition fee lang palang alone. How about the needs of the child as well?
Tama,
Right?
tama. May mga projects pa yan.
No, di ba? Mahal.
Mga field trips.
Yes, di ba? So, but at the same time, so if you move to the next slide, what we need to actually then think about is the inflation that we're dealing every year.
Tama.
And then at the same time, if you push the next slide, please.
Sure.
There. Thank you, sir. And then at the same time we're thinking about their child, we also need to think about our retirement.
Tama.
And by the time we retire, if your age today is 45 and then you want to retire at 65, if you have a monthly expenses of 50,000 pesos, and then per annum is 600, by the time if inflation is consistent of 5% per year,
Tama.
our annual already that time just to live a year is 1.5 million already.
All right. So, yes, can you continue? Yeah, you can continue.
Yes. So the problem kasi people don't actually plan to fail, but majority of us, majority even the poor, fail to plan this one out. That's why it's very important. That's why we're building this topic and how to beat inflation as well.
Tama. So, yeah.
And last, they go.
Sige. After you
Okay.
na lang.
Sige. And actually, ang tinitingnan ibang tao is always the risk for tuition, the risk for inflation. But if you move to my next slide, it says there that the biggest risk is actually you and me.
Alright, tama.
Diba? Because this again, the decision you made today will actually affect your way of living tomorrow.
Okay, so I want to add with that, because this is one of my pieces when I do seminars. Thank you for covering this. Naka-join ka na nga pala sa mga previous seminars ko dyan, di ba?
Yes, I was here as
Alright, so
student mo ako before.
yes. Okay, so I wanna point this out. This is very important, and I always want to discuss about this to my friends, family, sadly. Kasi yun yung pinakamalapit sa puso ko eh. But when I talk, it's always yung mga kaibigan ko ang last na nakikinig, and my family is my relatives and family is always last nakikinig yan. But that you're gonna experience that when you become a businessman. But anyways, so that's for a different topic about entrepreneurship. Alright, so here, how do we compute for how much we need to be saving, diba? Right, kasi ang problema sa mga tao nagsisave general na lahat. You're gonna discuss more about it later, diba, John? Okay, so
yes.
So for example, I'm saving 5,000 a month. Right, so let's say you have 5,000 a month already savings. Akala ng mga tao malaki na yan, right? Not knowing na yun, kung may anak ka, you have to save for your kids' education. Dapat naka-separate yung retirement mo. So I'm just gonna talk about that too. So let's talk about retirement. How do you compute? How do you know if how much you is needed for you to retire? Because this is the reason why I know people na hanggang 70 years old nagtatrabaho pa rin, and this you do not want that to happen to you, 'di ba? Sino ba dito ang gusto magtrabaho kahit 60 years old, 70 years old na sila? right? Say yes if you want to. If you want to, maybe because of passion, but because ang iba kasi napilitan, and that's what we don't want to happen. Now, let's talk about retirement. How did John come up with the yung retirement funds na dapat ready kayo, 'di ba? So in Manila, most probably plus the inflation when you are at a retirement age. Let's say 65, you retire at the age of 65 kung gusto niyo po para mas mahaba-haba pong panahon natin mapaghandaan. So if you wanna retire at 65, remember when you retire, you do not have work anymore, but the bills are still there. Especially the maintenance meds natin, especially pag matanda na tayo, high blood pressure, ang dami na sakit, diabetes, and everything. So, our projected expenses when we reach 65 is more or less around 50,000. Right? 50,000 pesos, ano yan? That's to live comfortably, di ba? Kasi ayaw naman natin na matanda na tayo na we depend on our kids. Sila na magbubuhay sa atin. Pagpapasahan pa sa tayo dyan. So, as much as possible, we have to live on our own independently. So, 50,000 is already a comfortable lifestyle. And then you multiply it by 12, that is around 600,000, right? 600,000 pesos. Right? Now, the question is, from 65 years old, how much, hanggang anong edad ka kaya mabubuhay? Let's say we live around 85, right? Just for average sake lang, 85. So, that means we have 20 years of retirement age na wala tayong trabaho. So, 600,000 times 20 years. John, can you do the math? 600,000 times 20. How much is that? 20 years?
Wait. 600,000 times 20, it's what? 12 million.
12 million. So, by the time you're age 65, you should have 12 million already available. Right? Ang dami ko pong retirees na nakausap. And when they realize that they retired, may retirement naman ako, may retirement fee, may retirement ako na 4 million. So, okay na yon. And then when they did the math, they realized that the 4 million that they have in the bank is not enough. And that's the reason why after 65, nagtatrabaho pa rin kasi kukulangin ang pera nila. Unless na gusto mo magpabuhay sa mga anak mo at hingi ka ng pera from them, that's gonna be a problem, right? So, how much, let's say for example, you are 35 years old right now and you're saving 5,000 pesos a month. 5,000 pesos is times 12 is 60,000, diba? 60,000 a year. And then let's say you're 35 years old and you want to retire at 65. So you have 30 years to prepare. So how much is 60,000 times 30 years, John? So if you're saving only 5,000 for your retirement, you end up with
sorry, how much is that?
60,000
times
30 years.
1.8 million.
1.8 million lang po ang na-save ninyo with 5,000 a month for your retirement. So, you see the discrepancy. You only are able to save 1.8 million because you think the 5,000 is enough. It's already big. But look at how far along are you. So, you have 1.8 million when you retire, but is that enough? Diba? And then when you realize by you're 65, ay kulang ang pera ko, and that's why I am first forced to work again. Right? So you have to solve this problem. Etong 5,000 ninyo na monthly, we have to put it somewhere that it grows exponentially at wag niyo po sa bangko ilalagay. Kasi pag sa bangko niyo yan ilalagay, you're just gonna end up with 1.8 million. Okay? And 1.8 million is madali lang po ubusin yan, especially if wala natin trabaho. Okay? So I hope that's clear. So this is the reason why investing is very important, so that we know where to place the money and we will meet the 12 million when we retire. Okay? So let me go back to our presentation. John, can you continue?
Sige. Okay. So, tama si Sir Lloyd because actually it's not just about the saving and growing exponentially because meron tayong kalaban. The kalaban natin is actually inflation. And you see in the graph, inflation is every year is iba-iba ang presyo, hindi natin ang rate. So it's actually a problem all of us, 'di ba? So that's why according to expert, it's actually safe to put your money where you can beat inflation. So how much is that usually ba, Sir Lloyd, dapat?
Inflation on the average is around 3 to 5% a year.
So it's very safe to put your money in a 6% or 5% at most, di ba?
Yes, tama. To beat inflation. You have to be
Just only
earning.
to beat
Oh,
inflation. So, but if you move to the next slide natin, hindi lang inflation ang gusto natin, 'di ba? Meron naman na tayong mga tinatawag na
yeah.
oh,
Let me, sige. Kasi
dream boy, dream girl. Ah, hindi pala for singles.
tama.
Meron tayong mga dream goals, 'di ba? So, can we actually give this to our audience na this exercise?
Yeah, sige.
Sige. So everyone, so let's have a simple exercise. So let's compute our dream goals. If you say dream, of course, you need to dream big, di ba? So you don't want to dream small. So if example, ako na lang, if you're going to compute you can do this at your home and then try to compute how much is your dream house. Example, it's 2 million as of today. And then your travel is 2 million. You have by the time you want to travel splurge 2 million. You want to have a business of 3 million in savings account of 4 million or a dream car of 2 million. Of course, syempre pag si dream boy, dream girl, priceless yan, iba yan, di ba?
Tama.
So, there. So, of course, if you total that out, how much is that, Sir Lloyd? Kaya, sige,
2, 4, 7, 11, 13.
13
Well, di
million.
kasama sa dream boy and dream girl.
Kasi priceless nga, di ba? So, if you compute that, it's around 13 million, di ba? So, if you're 40 years old today, or sabihin natin 40 years old just to be safe, and then, on my next slide, actually, andun yung computation there. So, if you total that at 13 million, and then you wanted to use that after 20 years, you need to save at least 640,000 a year. Or 54,000 a month, di ba?
Tama.
Medyo malaki for all of us to do this, di ba? So how about the others? Nag-compute kaya sila?
Anyways, this is a very important activity for you guys. At least, if you have financial goals, you know how much you need to save a month. Very
Yes.
important. Right?
Yes,
So,
tama.
para planado nyo po magkano kailangan nyo i-save in a month.
Yes. Yung tinatawag nilang dream board or vision board. You
Tama.
actually need a vision para magkaroon ng action, di ba? So, there. So, that's why I'm moving to my next slide, which is, if your comfort zone right now is earning to 10 to 20,000 a month, to earn that much monthly and then to achieve that dream, you also need to move to the further zones in our lives, which is the learning zone and actually the growth zone, where you can earn that. Because actually, to give us a perspective, yung single source of income is not enough. Tama. So that's why the rich people have 7 income streams, and that's why they're earning that much.
Tama.
And that's our goal, to create multiple source of income.
Very good.
Tama, Sir Lloyd?
Tama.
And right now, if you think of yourself right now, if you stop growing, meaning you're stop if you're stop learning, meaning you're stop growing, and that's why you need to learn more about these things. And that's what I want to encourage everyone.
All right, so let's go to the comments really quick. Ketamine, good morning. Increase our financial literacy. Very good morning. Mark Tamundong, have a great weekend learning from dialysis pa si Mark nakikinig sa atin. So hello to you guys. Maria Cecilia, good morning also. All right, so let me just close this up. All right, so and also here is a question from Sean Salumbides. Sir Lloyd and John, do you have any information regarding hospital shares? Planning to get this as an alternative for hospitalization insurance. How liquid is this if I decide to sell my stocks shares eventually? All right, very good. So I have an idea about that because I am a financial advisor, and personally, I don't want you to get any what they call this hospitalization insurance. Right? I am against that personally because what I always tell people is have a have an emergency fund instead po na hospitalization insurance kayo. Bakit? Hospital insurance, unlike VULs or variable unit link insurances, hindi po mapapasa inyo yan, binabayad ninyo annually. Okay? Now, let's say, John, I want to ask you, when was the last time you were hospitalized?
Mga months ago na ER ako because of over fatigue.
Over fatigue.
Oo.
Alright, sobra sa'yo magtrabaho. Alright,
Na-ER ako. And
alright.
then, nakakatawa na part dyan, naghabal-habal ako papuntang ER.
Alright,
Because
so,
I can't drive, di ba?
alright, so we have months ago, and then before that, before ka na ER, when was the last time you got hospitalized?
Wala pa, never
Never
pa naman.
pa. Alright, so let's
Yes.
say 5 years or 5 years, hindi ka na-hospitalized, diba? So for 5 years, let's say ang annual fee mo for the hospitalization, let me go full screen on this, so para, para, intense, diba? So, for the 5 years, nagbabayad kayo ng medical insurance on yourself, right? For you, right? Dito, I don't wanna name companies. Meron kasi medical insurance that costs around 40,000, 50,000 annually, right? 50,000 annually. And then what if 5 years hindi ka ma-hospital? So you are throwing away 250,000 pesos. And John, when you went to the ER, magkano lang ang nagastos mo?
Wala pang 5,000.
Wala 5,000. Right?
Wala pa.
So 250,000 went down the drain for a 5,000 peso medical insurance if ever may medical insurance ka, di ba? So that's the reason why I don't want you to get medical hospitalization insurance. Get what they call this, start building your emergency funds, which is what we're going to be discussing later. It's part of your presentation, John, right?
Yes.
Emergency funds, so that if nothing happens to you, the money is yours. It doesn't go to companies, right? That's why I'm against it. And just get something else for major illnesses. Yung mga major illnesses, ito yung mga ma-hospital ka at malalaki ang gastos talaga. Right? So we have a different plan for that. Okay, so that is my 2 cents for the question about medical insurance, hospitalization insurance. Planning to get this alternative for hospitalization. So if you want hospital shares and it gives you hospitalization insurance, if it's hospital shares, then if the hospital is doing well, then why not invest in them also? If it gives you, hindi ko kasi alam yung ano ang binibigay nilang bonus if you buy the hospital shares. So better check out with them. Sean Salumbides. Right, video editing learner. Good morning. Ketamine, salamat sa program yung ito. You're welcome. Alright, so let's continue. Alright, let me go to the presentation.
Yes.
So next, yeah, okay?
Yes. So ito lang. So but in reality, we're stuck in the rat race actually. And then Sir Lloyd is very expert in explaining that one.
Right. So, for those who haven't read the book of Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, most probably you don't have an idea what a rat race is. Ginamit lang natin ang mga daga because it's nakita niyo po yung mga daga pag naglalaro, yung parang wheel nila, yung umiikot lang. They work so hard, run so fast, but end up at the same position, right? The same location. They're not really moving. Okay? Yun pa nga sinasabi nila is you are getting nowhere fast, diba? So that's why we call it a rat race. So here's a better what they call this. Here's a better illustration to explain to this. This is the rat race cycle. So we work, trabaho tayo, we work hard for it, and then we get income, your hard-earned money, and then here comes eto sila due date, sila bills, your responsibilities, and then plus your lifestyle, instant gratification lifestyle. Uy, meron akong 13th month pay. Uy, maganda yung iPhone 11. Right, so then ang ending niyan wala pa savings, ending pa is nagkakautang-utang pa ang mga tao, credit card loans and etc. And ending niyan kasi may utang kayo at wala kayong savings, you have to work again. It's the same cycle and you are getting nowhere fast. And our resources, the most important resource that we have is our time. You're gonna grow old working, trapped in this rat race. Right, so that's basically what the rat race is. And today, we're going to be discussing how do you get out of the rat race. Okay, can I continue, John? Do you want to add something? Right.
I'm good.
So here's this question I always ask to my students when I do my talks. If you lose your job, ask yourself this, right? If you lose your job, I want you to read this on your own. Okay, if you lose your job, how long can you live off with the money that you have? Right, because I experienced this before. I asked this to someone, and someone answered, Sir Lloyd, I have 500,000 in my bank account right now, and I'm still 25 years old. That's very good, right? For a 25 years old to have 500,000 in his bank account. Maybe he has a very good job, diba? Now, and I asked him, now what if you lose your job? How long can you live off with that money? So what he answered was, how do we compute for that, Sir Lloyd? I told him, how much is your monthly expense? So his monthly expense is around 30,000 to 50,000. Let's say 40,000 in between. Right, so 40,000. If you lose your job and you don't want to, if you want to maintain your lifestyle, yung 40,000 mo, I mean, 40,000 mo, you multiply it by 12. So meaning yung 500,000 mo, isang taon lang, ubos na. Right? Pagka ubos na niyan, since wala ka ng pera, you start working again, and then the rat race starts all over again. Right? I asked this question because this is the definition of wealth. Wealth is the time where you can still live comfortably without work. How wealthy are you right now? Okay? So, ask yourself again, sa pera ko ngayon, if mawala ang trabaho ko, marami pong factors na pwede mawala ang trabaho ninyo. Right? Hindi lang sa gusto ko mag-retire. What ifs? Knock on wood. Something happens to you guys. A very important story I'm gonna share to you later. Diba? What if may mangyari sa inyo, hindi na kayo makapagtrabaho? Right? Lagapak ang status ng pamilya ninyo dyan. Right? So, this is very important. We have to build wealth, and that's what we're gonna be teaching you in a bit. Right? Now, in building wealth and getting out the rat race, the very important skill that we have is to identify assets versus liabilities. Kasi ito yung pinakamalaking sakit ng mga Pinoy. I wanna go full screen on this para intense. Right? So the biggest problem with Filipinos is we don't know how to differentiate assets versus liabilities. Ang mga Pinoy nga right? So many OFWs I talk to about this, when I discuss about this, they always thank me because of the enlightenment, 'di ba? Kasi ang mga Pinoy, traditionally, pag nagtatrabaho tayo, especially OFWs, or pwede na may malaki na tayong trabaho, ang una kagad nating nasa isip is build a house, right? Or buy a house. Kasi of the mindset na I want to see something, or gusto ko may makita sa pinagpaguran ko, right? And then they buy a house, not knowing if that house is an asset or a liability. Bili ng kotse, may asset ba ako? Ganito, ganyan. Oy, may asset ako, may kotse. Ganito, ganyan. So we want to put this into perception. Pinaka-importante po is knowing by heart what is the difference between assets and liabilities. Because the rich buys asset, the poor buys liability. Are you buying liabilities? To answer that, here it is. Rule number 1, you must know the difference between asset and liability and buy assets. The rich people acquire assets, poor mindset acquire liabilities. Simplest definition, pinaka-simple na difference between an asset or liability. Let me open my other slide really quick. Alright, so and let me pull this up. Right, so here we go. Asset versus liabilities. An asset puts money into your pocket. Simple as that. I don't want to be very technical. So an asset is anything. Kahit po bato yan. If it puts money in your pocket, then that's an asset. Bili ka ng gravel, bato yan, di ba? And then you sell it to people at a higher price, then that rock is an asset. Right? It's anything that puts money into your pockets. Now, liability is the opposite. Liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. So I want to ask you, as an audience, if you buy a house, right, is it an asset or is it a liability? We will wait for your answers. While waiting for your answers, let's check out the comments of everyone, and also later we are gonna be giving out some giveaways from eToro, one of our sponsors. We'll give it to you. Ketamine, sir, goal ko talaga magkaroon ng multiple stream of income. What investment can you advise for a person who doesn't have good socialization skills? Introvert. Passive income. Kung ayaw yung pagtrabahoan at you don't want to interact with people, passive income should be best for you. Alright, Charnel Flores, good morning, Sir Lloyd. John, thanks, you're welcome. Lito Santosidad, very good answer. Depends. Akala ko isang bato. Right. Depends. Liability, sabi ni Rene. Asset if income generating rent. Right, so very good. We're getting very good answers. So, shout out to Lito Santosidad, one of my good friend here in Cebu. Liability if imo poy an. Asset if imo paabangan. Right, that's in Cebuano. He said that, Lito said that, liability if you live in it, right? And it's an asset if you rent it out. So the best answer is it depends. Right? It depends. It dependot. Right? So it depends. Very good answer. Kasi ang karamihan ng mga Pinoy noon, if they buy a house, they think it's an asset. Diba? The answer is it depends. Is that house putting money into your pocket, or is it taking out money from your pocket? Diba? If you, like Lito said, if you live in it, if nakatira ka sa bahay, tignan natin if it puts money into your pocket. Minsan kasi if we buy a house, mas kikita naman tayo kasi we cancel out our rents. But we have to put that into equation. Kasi andyan, hindi lang sa bahay, you have to pay for maintenance. Pag may bahay ka na, meron ka ng internet, meron ka ng phone bills, meron ka ng electricity bills, meron ka ng caretaker, mga mga yaya dyan. So, it will most probably take out money. Usually, pag tinitirhan nyo yung bahay, it takes out money from your pocket. Right? So, usually, liability po yan. But if you rent it out, kuha kayo ng condominium, and then you rent it out, then you're earning more from your amortization, then that means that that purchase is an asset, and that's very good. Okay? The rich...
Sir Lloyd.
Yes.
Just to put a humor out of this, no? Yung
Oh.
uso ngayon na manok na pula, asset or liability?
hindi ko nabasa yung hindi ko nabasa yung lyrics niyan eh. So,
I think the audience can relate to that. Pero joke lang.
tama.
Sige. Anyway, sige, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, so that's a very important realization that we want to put out to everyone. So very good answers to everyone who answered it depends. Pasensya na, kumakain ako, hindi ako napag-breakfast. Right? Right. So, if you buy a house, buy a condominium, and then if you rent it out at kumikita kayo dito, that house you bought was a liability. So, important story I want to share is, I talked to a friend of mine, and gusto niya, kasi may anak na sila, gusto niya, meron siyang maliit ngayon na room, and then, gusto niya na, since they have a lot, and they want to build a house there, para makatransfer sila. I told him, sacrifice for now. If your room is enough, sacrifice the comfort right now. Sacrifice the luxury, because a house is a luxury. A bigger house is a luxury. Sacrifice the luxury now for the future. Kasi pag instead na itayo mo ng bahay, why not create a house and turn it into an asset at parentahan mo ang mga kwarto. The rent that you get, the money that you get from that house is what you'll be using to build the dream house that you want. Right? And all it took is sacrifice the comfort muna ngayon. And that is what he's doing right now. Gumawa siya ng, he's on his way to build that boarding houses instead. That's a very good action. So wag muna bahay natin. Kasi ang ending niyan, baka magtrabaho kayo hanggang matanda kayo because you did not acquire an asset instead. Okay? So that's the first thing I want to share. Very important in getting out of the rat race. You have to know the importance of assets and liabilities. The difference between assets and liabilities. Okay. Now, cash flow. This, I want to put time in this. Mga 10 minutes siguro dito. As I want to talk about this. This is very important. How do we attain financial freedom? So, let me go to my iPad. Alright, so, guys, this is called the cash flow. Right? I want you to take a screenshot of this para meron kayo nito, and as much as possible over the weekend, maybe tonight, you do your own cash flow. Okay? To check how good you are doing financially. When you're in college, how you're performing as a student can be seen in your report cards, diba? In real life, after school, how you are doing financially can be seen in your cash flow. So you have to know this. At least, alam nyo po, andun na po ang status ninyo, and you try to improve on your cash flow to do well in your finances. So there are 4 important parts of a cash flow, which is the income, the expense, and then the assets and liabilities. We already know the difference between assets and liabilities, right? So sa income, dito nyo ilalagay lahat ng inflow of money ninyo. Maybe from work, or you have a business, magkano kinikita mo personally, and hindi sa business, but basically how much you're receiving in your pocket para sa expenses ninyo. Okay? So let's say if you have a job and you're getting 30,000 pesos income. Yun lang ang isang stream of income mo. Remember, to be rich, you have to have so many streams of income. This is where it becomes more important. So, what if trabaho lang ang dinidepend mo ngayon? So, you have there. Then, expenses, you have to be very intricate with this. Lagay nyo po lahat ng expenses ninyo. For example, let's say, load expenses ninyo, magkano, food, every month ito monthly ito na cash flow. Food, magkano expenses nyo sa food, sa commute, yaya, kung may yaya pa kayo, school ng mga anak, school, etc. Let's say, pag total nyo out po dito, total expenses ninyo is 25,000 pesos, right? So, 25,000 pesos. You subtract that from your income. Basically, you have 5,000 pesos. That is your savings. Okay? The trick is, you have to have bigger savings. Kasi ang savings natin, ang gagamitin natin pang-acquire ng either assets or liabilities. Now, let's start with the poor. Bakit mahirap ang mga tao? Right, so liabilities, whenever people buy liabilities, this is the reason why baon tayo sa utang. Okay, liabilities, let's say you buy a car. Kasi marami dito ngayon, I have friends, I know people from call centers na, uy, malaki na sweldo ko, kaya ko na ang monthly amortization ng car. Right, not knowing that they are buying liabilities instead. So if you buy a car, para ma-cancel out yung commute mo, let's say a car, you have to compute the monthly expenses, gasolina, maintenance, pa-car wash, sa car. Basically, this gives you plus the amortization. Magkano ba amortization ng car usually ngayon? Nasa 12,000, di ba? Plus the maintenance. Lagay natin 15,000 liabilities. Pero you cancel out your commute. Let's say your commute dito is ang monthly mo is 5,000. Laki na yan for commute, di ba? Monthly 5,000. So we cancel that out kasi may car ka na. Alright, so let's just put car alone para mas clear natin. So liabilities, if ever meron po kayo ibang liabilities bibilhin, like for example, bili ako ng bahay para wala na akong rent kasi isa sa expenses natin ang rent. Bili ako ng bahay, but not knowing that the house that you bought is a liability, so it adds up to your expenses. Let's say 5,000 lang ang add sa expenses niyan. So the more liabilities you buy, the bigger this totals out. Now, let's say, for example, ito lang dalawang liabilities mo. This totals to 20,000 pesos. Okay? What happens is, yung 20,000 pesos adds up to your expenses. Okay, so sinubtract natin yung 5,000 kanina, so 20,000 na lang ito. But we added, because we have liabilities, dumagdag ngayon ng 20,000 sa monthly expenses natin. So now we have a monthly expense of 40,000 pesos, which is negative na tayo. Ang ending, mangungutang tayo to cope up with the expenses, and this is the reason why ang mga mahihirap, if you are experiencing this, parang hanggang lieg lagi ang budget natin, hinahabol tayo lagi ng mga payments, bills, due dates, etc. It's because we slowly add up to our liabilities, nadadagdagan ang mga liabilities natin. Uy, nasa call center na ako, may magandang sweldo na ako, so kumukuha na is dati na prepaid lang kayo, nagpo-postpaid na kayo, so that adds up to your liabilities. Ano pa ba pwedeng liabilities? Bili ng TV, right? Uy, may magandang sweldo ako, bili ako ng TV. Kailangan po magbayad ng Netflix, kailangan po magbayad ng Sky Cable because you have TV. Right? So it adds up, and when it adds up to your expenses, and this is the reason why baon kayo sa utang. Right? Contrary, kung yung savings niyo ilalagay niyo sa assets instead. Right? Kung sa assets niyo ito linagay, right? So, bili kayo. For example, one of the things that we will be sharing to you is Pag-ibig MP2 program. So, yung 5,000 nyo, ilagay niyo sa Pag-ibig MP2 program for MP2. Let me do the math, okay? Calculator ako. Right, so Pag-ibig MP2 program, if you put 5,000 a month times 12, right, that's 60,000, and then ang tubo ngayon ng MP2 program is 0.08, which is 8%. So, a year, you would have earned 4,800 divided by 12. So, that has a monthly MP2 program na 5,000 gives you a monthly earning of 400 pesos. Doesn't sound much, but at least it is there. Right? So may MP2 program na kayo. It makes you earn 400 pesos a month. Now, what if meron pa kayong, let's say, co-op na investment? Like, for example, here in CFI, how much yung binigay ni CFI for this year, John?
15%.
15%. So this is only 8%. So we can double that. Let's say you have 800 pesos earnings here. Now, the very good thing here is that the more assets you put in, for example, stock market, stocks or rental for house na, bumili ka ng house na rental and then meron kang clear na 2,000 pesos. Right? These things adds up. Let's say sa stocks meron ka rin 1,000, right? So these things adds up. So 3,000, 3,800, 4,200. So whatever is earning you here, they add up and gives additional income for you. So this is additional 4,200 pesos. So now ang ending, so dati kung wala kang liabilities, wala ito, 20,000, 25k lang ang gastos mo and you're able to save 500,000. Now, with the additional 4,200, ang savings mo na ngayon is now at 9,200. Now, you use the 9,200 monthly income mo, place it on a different asset, buy another asset that puts money into your pocket. Kahit pa 400 lang nabibigay niyan monthly, it adds up to your monthly na cash flow. And that's very important. Now, how do you get, I hope this is clear. Okay, the poor buys liabilities, kaya po baon sa utang. The rich buys asset to add multiple streams of income, nag-a-add sa taas. Okay, now how do you get out of the rat race with this? Right, so let me go back. And so how do you get out of the rat race? Wait, ayaw. Teka lang ha. The most important part here is you have to have assets. Diba assets gives us income, especially passive income. Right? If your expenses is 25,000, right? You have to have so many assets that it gives you a total of 25,000 a month. Right? So let's say you have MP2, stocks or real estate, and it adds up to 25,000. This is where financial freedom kicks in. Kahit hindi ka na magtrabaho, di ba kanina meron tayong 30,000 monthly. What if something happens to you or you decide you want to retire? Wala ka na income dyan, but you have income of 25,000. This evens out your expenses. Kahit po hindi na kayo magtrabaho, you are able to live off the life comfortably. Hindi mababago ang lifestyle mo. Your life continues kahit wala ka ng trabaho because you have enough asset that gains you enough to cover for your expenses. Now, if you want to be a multimillionaire, then you keep working, 30,000, meron ka ng 30,000 a month kasi yung 25,000 mong assets, yun yung sa expenses mo, 30,000 a month, you can buy more assets instead. And that snowballs into becoming rich into multiple millions, and that's how you attain financial freedom. Okay, I hope that's clear. Right, so, yan. So, that's where cash flow. Let me go to the slide. Right. So I hope that's clear. Let's go to a few comments about this because this is very important. Maybe we have questions. I consider our house as an asset because I have business here and we live comfortably. My husband is an OFW and we paid it already. Very good. If ever mas nakakasave kayo, kaysa man magrenta kayo, di ba? There are instances na living in the house becomes an asset kaysa magrenta kayo ng mahal and then you're also using it for your business. Kaysa magrenta kayo for an office, you use your house. That's additional for you. So very good. Alright, Joseph Tanael, sir, how do you deal with other kapamilya? Like an in-law, parents, pamangkin, tapos pamilyado? Kana. Right. That's a very tricky question. That's a very hard question.
Yes.
Diba? But, kasi tayo mga Pinoy pinanganak tayo na generous talaga. Right? Likas na generous ang mga Pinoy. But
money is relative. The more money you have, the more relatives you have as well.
Tama. Very good question. Actually, dito is, what I usually tell people is, save some for yourself. Right? Even if sabihin nila madamot ka or anything, but because of you have plans, ang pinakamaganda kasi if magdamot kayo ngayon, is when it will make you, kasi yung pera na nasa-save nyo instead, kasi ibigay nyo sa relatives ninyo. Ang pera na nasa-save nyo instead, it goes to your assets, and in the future, mas malaki pang tulong ang mabibigay ninyo sa kanila kung magdadamot kayo ngayon. Right? Try to talk to them about it. Ma'am, ito po kasi ang plans namin. Right? So, we will buy this, and pag ito ni income natin, kahit na po bigyan ko kayo ng 10,000 a month, wala na tayong problema. So, please understand if magdadamot muna ako ngayon or hindi naman sa magdadamot, huwag nyo gamitin ng term na magdadamot. So, please understand if hindi ako makabigay sa inyo ngayon because we are placing it into our investments. Kasi pag wala itong investments, paano pag nawalan kami ng trabaho, wala tayong income. You construct the conversation like that. Ipakita nyo po ang plano ninyo so that they'll understand bakit hindi kayo magbibigay ng pera. Right? And then give them updates. Oy, ma'am, eto, thank you for understanding kasi hindi ko nakabibigay sa inyo. Pero ito na po yung bahay na napatayo natin. Pinaparentahan na po natin and we're starting to gain the income. Yung income muna nito, lagay pa natin sa bagong bahay para pag meet na natin yung goal natin, pwede na tayong magbakasyon all the time. You talk to them like that. Hopefully they understand. If not, then man, you have to burn bridges if you want to meet your goals. Okay?
Yes. So, by biblically says, diba, if you give a fish to a person, you just feed him a day. But if you teach them
Tama.
how to fish as well, you actually feed them in a lifetime. So, to add on to that, you actually engage and then teach as well what you learn from this topic and from this session. You also engage your family. And what I learned about this one and always advice from my mga ate ko before, if you cannot help yourself, you cannot actually help others as well. So, help yourself first talaga. Pay yourself first muna then you extend help after. And then I think they will understand kung how much you can help lang. They will understand. Because if they keep on depending on you, wala talagang mangyayari.
Alright, sige. So, yeah, may question dito. Ano ang CFI? It's a cooperative here in Cebu. Let me see if they have a website. Kasi ngayon medyo stricto na sila with memberships. So CFI, it's a cooperative here in Cebu. It was open to everyone before and right now they're closing it, but ang dami pa pong ibang cooperatives dito sa Cebu. Meron pang AMSLI. It's a national cooperative. Kaso nga lang ang mga natutulungan na AMSLI is yung mga military lang ba 'yon or yeah.
Yeah, you need to be part of the military.
Yeah, and AMSLI gives out how much this year?
18%.
Yeah, 18% ang bigay nila. So,
Okay.
ang dami pong co-ops. Maybe most probably in the future, we'll make a video more into co-ops and give you ideas. Ano yung mga magandang cooperative. Right? Cooperative, AMSLI gave out 18%. So, that's very good income for those na nag-invest sa kanila. Alright, so let's continue. Alright, so
Okay.
that's cash flow.
Yes. So thank you, Sir Lloyd, for tackling about cash flow. So, yeah, there you go. So yung ini-experience ni Sir Lloyd is about our actual income statement then. So basically, this is just to illustrate what Robert Kiyosaki says about where our income comes from, no? So it's either be active or passive, meaning if it's an active, you exchange time for your money. But if passive, you're not there, but you're still earning. So that's our goal as well. So to be from E or ES, employee self-employed, and add to a business or even add as investment. So
Yes.
that's our goal to actually increase more income streams that can generate assets.
All right. So, pinakamagandang klase investment for me is passive income. What is passive income? Passive income is an investment field where tawag dyan, you don't it's money coming into your pocket without you requiring time to focus on it. So, hindi nyo kailangan panoorin, hindi nyo kailangan mag-spend time sa isang business para kumita kayo. That's the best investment for me. That's the best business. That's why I always look for opportunities to do passive income. Why am I in YouTube? Because there's good passive income in YouTube. Why do we go to real estate? Because there's very good passive income in real estate. Pinaparentahan mo lang, wala kang ginagawa, and then you're receiving this. But please understand what if it's passive income, right? Any passive income, hindi po malaki ang kita niyan, right? Maybe 1,000 a month, that's already very good. Again, it adds up. If something gives you 1,000 a month, it already is very good. We'll discuss later how much is very good for a passive income already. But before that, we can go to this. Go ahead,
Okay, so
John.
are you ready for the 3 big simple steps to achieve financial freedom?
Yes.
So there you go. So first is a change of mindset, no? So and then second is figure out what we really want. And last but not the least, may dumaan kasi na aeroplano. So we
John,
continue and invest. Yes.
si John,
There.
he lives in Lapu-Lapu and very near the airport. Kaya pasensya na if ever maingay minsan pag may dumaan aeroplano.
Yes. So may mga international flights kasi minsan dito ang daan. So anyway, so first, we need it's a very important in everything that we do, not just even in finances. If you move to my next slide, Sir Lloyd, it's actually changing the mindset, change our mindset. Just like an example of an iron, no one can destroy an iron but its own. So likewise, none can destroy a person but its own mindset. So meaning, if our way of thinking will actually dictate the way of our living. If we have the right way of thinking, then we will have the right way of living. But if you have the wrong way of thinking, then we will have a wrong way of living as well. Tama?
Yes,
So
tama.
yeah, that's why it's very important if we move to my next slide. It's very important as well to really invest in knowledge. And this is actually what I learned all throughout as I study about these things and it's really advised get away from rich quick scheme. Again, it's getting away from rich quick scheme.
Ayan,
So
tama.
wealth is built over time talaga. And then learn more about financial literacy, learn more about money, budgeting as well. Because mindset plus action give us the right results. That's
Alright.
what actually talaga ang very important to us. And if you also move to my next slide, Sir Lloyd, then one of the Forbes quotes in terms of money is the investment in knowledge pays the best interest talaga. That's
Right.
what. So it's very important to increase our knowledge about money. What's the best investment that we can put our money? Where's the how do we save more money as well? It's not how much we earn it's how much we save.
Right, tama.
Diba? So there. So that's in terms of downloading inputs, but basically there's also emotions into it, and Sir Lloyd can actually tackle that to us to the next slide.
Alright, so before we continue, meron dito, kasi pag nagdamot ka kasi sa relatives mo, Sir Lord, this is from Rani, Glenn Barco, baka may kulam ka. Alright, I don't believe
Yes.
in that. Your
No.
destiny is nasa sa inyo na po yan. Alright, don't blame it on others, don't blame it on kulam. Right? Try to explain to them. If they don't understand, then that is their problem, not your problem. Still continue with your plans. Do not change your plans because of other people. Okay, Catherine Aguilar, police also. Balbon the Great. Sir Lloyd, kailan kayo matutuloy sa South Korea? Hindi po ata kayo natuloy para bukas, October 20. Sadly, nagka-change po yung visa processing. tumagal na yung visa processing for Korea. So, next month na ako makapunta. Pasensya about that. Wow, watching from Lapu-Lapu City. Alright. So, takeaway, going back to what John discussed about earlier. Una is mindset and then the discipline. I always emphasize about this. I want to share my iPad again. So, guys, tinuturo na po namin sa inyo on how to become financially free right away. Okay, so I want to share this to you. The quickest way for financial freedom, FF, that is our goal, financial freedom. If you're still here, the quickest way to reach that is a straight line. Right? Straight line, meaning lahat ng tinuturo na mga magagaling na at may mayayaman na sundin ninyo. Huwag kayong don't spend too much on shoes, milk tea, sanggipsal, and everything. Kung susundin niyo yan, that's the quickest way to financial freedom. But since we are human, we're human, so this is our goal, financial freedom. We go to the side, oy, meron ditong sanggipsal, magsanggipsal ako. So, balik ulit tayo sa path, o mag-ipon muna ako. Oy, may Nike dito, ay, bili muna ako. So, lumiliko tayo from our would-be path dapat. So, we always switch, and then, along the way, oy, mag-ipon muna ako. Uy, may Starbucks, ganito, ganyan. So, what we do is, we curve around. And then, we can still obtain financial freedom naman. But, if you measure the lines from here, compare it to here, it will take you a longer time. So if you want to be financially free soon, the earliest that you want, then discipline, follow it. It's up to you. Hindi po namin kayo pinipigilan, but I hope you understand that if ayaw nyo pong discipline talaga on saving your money, sacrificing the parties, sacrificing the Starbucks, sacrificing ito yung mga instant gratification natin ng mga ng mga expenses, like for example bagong cellphone, bagong sapatos, bagong damit. Yes, you may still reach financial freedom in the future, but it will take you a longer time. I want to share to you my goal. My goal is to be financially free by the age of 35, and we're almost there. I'm already 33, and dahil sa sakripisyo, right, even till now, people saw me. Wala pa rin akong sasakyan. I just bought the car recently. But for the longest time, even if I can afford to buy a car already, nagmo-motorcycle lang po ako. That's the sacrifice I did. So, to reach that goal of mine, na 35, magre-retire na ako. Okay? So, that's a little story on my end. Anyways, so I hope you understand. Now, to the point of John earlier, to avoid getting rich quick schemes. We'll talk about that later on. Okay, so we want to talk more about the mindset. I can't afford that. Ito yung nasa pula na side, sa manok na pula. Let me share my the presentation. Alright, so sa manok na pula, this is the negative mindset that John wants to talk about. I can't afford that. Ito yung iniisip ng mga tao na negative. Hindi ko ma-afford yan. I don't want to take risks. The reason I'm not rich is, so ang daming rason bakit hindi ako mayaman, kasi yung parents ko hindi ako naturuan ganito, or yung parents ko hindi mayaman, or people are nahihirapan ako, malas ako sa trabaho, hindi ako napopromote. Also, study hard so you can find a good company to work for it. This is the employee mindset. You're gonna be trapped in the rat race if trabaho lang iniisip ninyo na paraan para makalabas po kayo sa rat race. Okay? This is from the Rich Dad Poor Dad kasi. Now, the positive mindset is, how can I afford that? So, hanap ako ng paraan para ma-afford ko yan. Learn to manage risk. This is very ironic kasi ang mga mahihirap, lagi sinasabi, napaka-risky niyan. Pero pag binigyan mo ng isang get-rich scheme na scam na, oy, ang return is 30% a month, wala na yan. Kukunin na yan. Diba? So, ang daming mahirap na pupunta tuloy sa scam. Right? So, it's very ironic. They don't want to take risks, pero nasisilaw sa return sa pera, nawawala ito. And hindi na ma-manage ang risk. They go into high-risk, high-reward investments, which turn out, most of the time, turn out to be a scam. Nawawala tuloy yung pera nila. Learn to manage risks. The reason I must be rich is because of my family. So you have to find motivation to be rich. And study hard so you can find a company to buy. Very important, right? So those are the positive mindsets. Learn to use your emotions to think. Learn to use your emotions to think, not think with your emotions. Right? Very good. I need to get another job. I deserve a raise. I want this job because it's secure. This is what people always, ito yung parang comfort zone kasi natin, yung trabaho. And then, start asking yourself, is there something I'm missing here? Bakit trap pa ako sa trabaho pero yung ibang tao yumayaman? May mga taong yumayaman. Hindi kailangan mag-overseas, hindi kailangan mag-OFW. But may yumayaman dito sa Pilipinas? What are they doing that I'm not? And try to follow those people. Diba? Okay, going forward, very important. If you cannot manage 10,000 pesos, kung nawawala sa inyo yung 10,000 na parang bula, then man, you cannot manage 100,000 pesos, even 1 million. Mawawala rin sa inyo na parang bula. Yan. Okay? You do not accidentally become financially literate. You do not become accidentally na marunong na ako mang-manage ng pera. Right? This is the reason why ang daming mayayaman sa pag napasa nila sa yung yaman nila sa mga anak nila, nauubos ang yaman. Because kahit na millions yung binigay mo sa kanila, mauubos yan kasi they're not financially literate. Okay? This is the reason why ang daming lottery winners na nanalo pero end up, mahirap pa rin. After a few years, naubos ang pera. Financial literacy is not a side effect of wealth. Hindi po yan may natanggap ako na mana and then magiging financially literate ka na kaagad. Right? Wealth is a side effect of financial literacy. You become wealthy because you're financially literate already. Right? Again, learning is very, very, very important. And if you have a little activity for everyone, if you have 1 million now, how are you going to manage it? Saan nyo po ilalagay? Let me know in the comments. We still have time. Still 10. Uy, mabilis tayo. Very good. So please let me know what are you gonna do with your 1 million if you have 1 million now in your bank account. So while waiting for your answers, I wanna read the comments of people. Right, mangingisda.org po ba ay passive income? Yes, it's passive income because you're letting the organization. We'll discuss about mangingisda.org later because you're letting the organization do the work for you. Okay? Ang nangyayari kasi mangingisda.org is bibili niyo po yung isda nila and sila na po mag-offer na mag-alaga ng isda and magbenta para sa inyo. And then, para nyo silang binigyan lang ng pera to give out their services. So, ganun po ang mangingisda.org. Edris Hadji Salik. Good morning, sir. Good morning din. Anong CFI, sir? CFI, forgot of the meaning of CFI, but it's very here. It's very community Cebu CFI. Cebu CFI lang kasi nilalagay nila eh. Right, Cebu CFI Community Cooperative. That's the name of CFI Cooperative. It's here in Cebu. They just named it Cebu CFI. I don't know what meaning of CFI is, but it's very famous here in Cebu. It's just that medyo challenging na pumasok sa CFI ngayon. We'll discuss more about that. I'll do more research about that. Amlay, yes, D-Hive, that's Amlay. No, right, Amlay. Ronald Toller, Sir Lloyd, wala ba kayong webinar ito sa Australia? Palagi po pinapanood ang mga YouTube. We have a webinar this November. It's about day trading. If you want to learn how to day trade, how people are becoming rich in trading, we have in November 10 and 11. Just follow my Facebook page. Meron po akong pinost doon. Joseph Tanel, may ibang quote sabi nila, pag travel, just go kasi daw time lost can't be retrieved but you can always earn money. Very good quote. That's a different perspective naman, Joseph Taneo. We're talking about financial literacy perspective, financial perspective. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, di ba? Sabi ko sa inyo with the iPad, you can always go for travel dito. Yes, there's nothing bad with that. But mind you, it's about prioritization. If you do travel, it is liliwas ka sa trajectory mo and it is gonna make you reach your overall goal. Priority natin is financial freedom. Pero kung hindi nyo po priority and financial freedom, then that's okay. You can go travel. But again, the consequence there is it's gonna take you more time to reach your financial freedom. If mag-travel ka and the gastos was 200,000, if you would have invested that instead, it will rocket you to financial freedom. And mga kita mo, retire ka na sa 35 and grabe ng ang income mo with your multiple streams of income, kahit pa po saan ka mag-travel sa mundo. it's gonna be very easy for you. So it's up to you. If you want to travel now, I call it instant gratification. But if you want to travel when you are already financially free, mas matinding travel pa ang magagawa mo. So
Yes.
sacrifice now.
Sir, to add,
Yes.
it's very important naman din to live in the present, but as long as it is budget and plan.
Yes, as long as it's planned. Very good point.
Walang problema. If it's a balance between future and present eh. We can enjoy the present but think about the future as well.
All right.
So talagang it's all about budgeting and planning at the same time.
All right. Very good. So, D-Hive, no travel pag senior na, ugod-ugod na. Right. That's the one reason why I want to retire at 35. So, that's why gusto ko po mag-retire by 35. I want to be financially free by 35. So that 35 onwards, I can do travel kahit ano pong gustong gawin ko. That's why I am focused now. I always, as much as possible, iniiwasan ko yung mga temptations of spending here, spending there, para ma-reach ko po yung goal ko. It's about your priority. My priority is to retire young so that I can still enjoy traveling. Okay? Iba-iba po tayo. So, it's up to you. But as long as you plan it properly, that is gonna be okay. So, invest 1 million from Balbot. So, ang answer ng mga tao with the question kanina, mutual fund, ilalagay niya ang 1M sa mutual fund. Invest in real properties or invest in Pag-ibig MP2 program. Stock market, 70%. Invest ang 30%. Very good. Balbon, the great. 1 million. Invest sa MP2, stocks, real estate, UITF. 500 stocks, 500 diversified, 5 to 10 passive income. 1M for diversified investment. Alright, very good. So here, nakita natin on my situation right now, maraming loans. If I have 1 million, I would pay all my debts first. Very good. It depends on the situation of everyone. Now, I want to share this to you. Right? For example, isa lang ang kunin ko dito. Right? So, I want to highlight si Kaloy. Ay, hindi. Si Sean Salumbides, 200k stocks, 200k mutual funds, 200k down payment sa condo, 200 SID-in, 200k emergency funds. Very good answer. So I wanna highlight on Sean Salumbides' answer. Okay. So Sean wants to put diversified 200 stocks, mutual funds, down payment. Very good answer. Now, I wanna go full screen para intense. I wanna share to you a story of ito. Ako muna ha. Mukha ko muna dyan. Right. So I wanna share to you a story of someone I know here in Cebu. Right. His dad is a seaman. Seaman po yung tatay niya. So seaman, knowing seaman, malaki po yung kinikita nila. Every year, when he goes back down, nakakaipon daw sila ng around 1 million because magandang trabaho, di ba? So sa 1 million na yan, since they live in Bohol, they want to start a business of kasi tourism is very good in Bohol. So ang binili nila is yung mga malalaking pump boats na pang island hopping. So that's a very good business in tourism in Bohol. So his goal was to get 10 fish pump boats. 10 pump boats po ang goal niya. So first year, some pump boat, they reached up to 6 pump boats, right? The one day, sumakay na naman ng barko yung kapitan. Right? Sumakay ng barko yung kapitan and then na-stroke. Right? Na-stroke siya. So they had to bring him back to Cebu, emergency. So emergency yung operation, and they didn't have the money because they placed everything sa pump boats sila. And since they need the money in emergency, ang ending po is they had to sell their pump boats. Right? Nabenta nila at a much cheaper price and then nagastos nila lahat sa operation. Okay? So after that, after the operation, sadly, fortunately, the dad survived. Sadly, hindi na siya fit to work. So hindi na siya makasakay ng barko. The status of the family, which is very rich, very very good status ng family, in just sa isang idlap, crashed down. Yung status crashed down to a point na yung kakilala ko pumupunta na sa markets at nagbebenta sa market ng mga kahit ano sa market, right? Just to live by. So in an instant, very rich, one instant in life, crashed down to pulubi. Right? Naging pulubi talaga kasi the dad was not working anymore. So hindi na sa pulubi. That's not the term that I'm looking for. But anyways, the point is, they had to work and napakahirap po ng situation nila after. The problem there was the family went too aggressive on investments. Right? That is not good. Okay? Wag po. Kasi sa isang iglap, yung ilang taon mong pinagtrabahuan, yung ilang taon mong pinag-aralan, yung naipon mong pera, masasayang lang, and ending, you go back to zero if you go too aggressive on your investments. Now, let me go to the slide. Alright, so, eto kasi, figure out what you really want. Is it comfort or freedom? Where and how do I start? So, ganito kasi, yung story ko kanina, this is how we were taught by our ancestors, mga relatives natin, yung mga parents natin, yung mga ninuno natin. Right? This is how we become rich. So, you look for a job, you look for income generation, look for a job, look for a business, look for investments, so that you have income generation. So, if you're generating income, meron ka ng savings, right? Yung savings mo, i-invest mo so that you become rich. So, this is the traditional financial structure taught to us. But the problem is, if you have income generation, if you have savings, if you have investments, what if ma-stroke ka? Like the story that happened earlier. So, your income generation, X na yan, mawawala. Kasi you're not fit to work anymore, or you're not fit to run your business anymore, or baka mabenta ninyo, diba? Yung investments ninyo. O susunod po dyan, mawawala ang income generation since hindi ka na seaman, yung savings mo, mauubos for the medication and everything. And since wala ka ng trabaho, savings nyo ang gagamitin nyo pangkain. And then, next to that, ang susunod na mawawala is your investments. And then, financial freedom is already out of the picture. Okay? That's the problem with the traditional financial structure taught to us. Kung may 1 million kayo, linagay nyo lahat sa investments, you might end up wasting your time and wasting your 1 million. A wise man is always ahead on all the what-ifs in life. You're always one step ahead. So whatever happens, you have plans. So this is the financial structure that we want to teach everyone. Turo nyo po ito sa mga bata ninyo. Okay? You have income generation. This is the right financial structure. You have to have income generation. Maybe a business, maybe a job, a good paying job. And then before you go to savings, get protection first. Right? Protection, ito yung sinasabi ng insurance. Because if something happens to you, pag na-stroke ka, ang protection po ang magko-collapse. Wala ang protection, but your savings, your investments, your road to financial freedom is intact. Kasi yung protection, insurance, lagyan nyo lang ng konti every month or every year, as long as you're protected. If something happens to you, si protection po ang sasalo sa savings and investments. Bibigyan kayo, for example, you need 2 million and you have 2 million protection, then 2 million, hindi na magagalaw yung savings niyo, hindi na magagalaw yung investment. So that, if ever you can no longer generate income, for example, hindi ka na fit to work, your savings are still intact, your investments, yung mga pump boat mo, hindi sana nabenta because you had protection, and you are still on the way to financial freedom. In protection is very important. Do not, yung 1 million ninyo, ang 100,000 dyan or 200,000, ilagay nyo po sa protection, and the rest, you diversify it to others. This is the lesson I always want to teach, and I want everyone to realize. Okay? And then, daan na tayo niyan mamaya. Spend less than what you earn. Do it in a long time, then you will be financially free. Jason, this is from Jason Law. Yes, definitely. It will take time for you to become rich. Okay, so let's go to savings. Mamaya, let's talk more about protection later. Let's go to savings. Go ahead, John.
All right, so I definitely agree with Sir Lloyd na protection is very important as well, di ba? We want the best thing is in life as well. We advise them to get the best thing in life, but also prepare for the worst. So, but before that, in anything, before investment, before getting our insurance, of course, first we need to plan and budget our income. And then the most important is actually savings. That expert says it's very important to have an emergency fund for 6 to 12 months of living expenses. So, are you ready guys for different method of budgeting na pwede natin i-share? Because budgeting is very important and that's why we need to put structure to it.
Right. Sige,
Okay?
go ahead.
So, aside from budget, we also need to manage, if you go to my next slide, if we, as well as we manage our budget, we also need to manage our debt. And one computation that I got from the expert is income minus your target debt, then expenses, kung saan mo siya i-allocate. And then just to put yung burden, kasi sabi nila in things, in finances, it's like a table glass. You cannot put too much on it because it will break in the future. So that's why it's very important to pay the smallest debt first para hindi mabigat for you and then go to the largest. It will graduate ka, it will be small wins and it will be big win on our end. So as we save, we need to manage debt as well. Mas maganda debt-free as much as possible.
Tama. With
Mas maganda talaga.
Yes, I want to butt in a little bit. Diba
Correct.
kanina sa cash flow natin, liabilities, debt is one of the liabilities. Kasi kung hindi nyo po binabayaran yan, it will add expenses kasi of the interest and it will snowball to very big and ma-minus po sa expenses ninyo yan. Right? So, go ahead.
So please to the next slide. So the first budgeting technique that we can learn from today is the 50-20-30 rule. If you can target your expenses to 50%, then 20% savings and 30% lifestyle. So again, the principle behind is not about the money we earn. It's also about the money we save. And as well, it's money not spent is money earned. Tama? So hindi natin nagagastos ang bagay, it's money earned. Hindi natin nagagastos yun eh. So that's why it's very important to adjust, the expense will adjust, and then sabi nga nila, the expert says, pay yourself first. Okay, so in general rule, of course, sabi nila, pag pasok ng pera mo, of course, you have your partner, which is God. So you give first to God, and then after that, you pay yourself. And then a number 2 budgeting technique is what others do as well, is 60% expenses, and then they keep track on those expenses, and then 40% they divide to everything that they want. But the most, of course, in saving naman din, in general, of course, if pag-save ka sa isang bagay, dapat may goal and target ka. That saving is for what? That saving is how much? Dapat you put in mind, begin with an end in mind, as Stephen Covey said. Na dapat may, at start that you're going to set your budget, meron ka na kagad na tinatawag nilang goal and target. So, and then the easiest way, and then what commonly mga ginagamit ng tao is on the next slide, which is the top-down approach, which is after may pumasok na income, is like example, it's November coming, and then that's our 13-month pay, then you target your savings, and then the rest will be your expenses. And if you go again to my next slide, Sir Lloyd, so if you wanna be drilled down, if you're OC ka, mas maganda if you wanna do this. Actually, kasi effective din tong sub-savings account. You know why? Because you only have one saving account, and then you check it online, and then sabi natin, millions yan, di ba? So, billions of your money. You think kasi dami mong pera yan. Parang, marami naman akong kasi bulk siya. So,
tama.
tendency for us is to spend it, makagastos ka na hindi kasama sa plano.
Tama.
What's good about sub-savings is you have different accounts na kailangan mo, and then you base it according to savings fund. Then, wait lang, may dadaan na play na.
Anyways, this is what I do basically. Ganito ang ginagawa ko. Meron akong savings account para sa mga insurances ko. May savings account ako for additional retirement. Meron akong savings account for travel. I separate my savings account para hindi ko makita ko na, yung retirement fund ko, liit pa lang pala. So, ganun ang ginagawa ko. Kasi hindi ko maisip na bulk siya.
Yes, kasi nga, that's why it's very important as well if you go out, then mas maganda yung laman ng wallet mo sakto lang para hindi ka magastos on some things na wala sa plano as much as possible. So yun important, yun ang maganda din in having a sub-savings account. You have a passbook na medyo mahirap i-withdraw. You have a passbook for your travel. You You have a passbook for investment purposes in the future. And then that's what yung nag-comment kanina about travel. So if you value travel and then you think you're going to have this a business in the future, pwede mo siyang gawin na value-based budget na tinatawag nila. So spend money of what you value, you put aside money for there as an investment, put it in an account, and then example you want to discover different type of coffee, then the rest of that will you have a sub savings account or a top-down approach on that aspect.
Correct.
So if you then last but not the least for your savings natin or different kinds of budget is a combination of different method. Again, whatever method we are using is actually walang problema, but always remember the principle behind why are you doing this.
Tama. Alright.
No? So different people has different model, but again, just copy the principle behind. And then I think we have different approach on this aspect, but always remember the principle behind of savings and why you need to save.
Alright. Very good. So, na-mention ko kanina, I do the sub-saving account. Meron akong different account for my insurances. Kasi ganito ang ginagawa ko. With my long-term savings, right? Diba, retirement is your long-term na savings. With my long-term savings, hindi ko po yan linalagay sa bangko. Right? I just have a bank account for that because I pay for my insurances yearly. So, for example, in my mind, next year, January, meron akong due na 200,000. So, I have to make sure that before January, may 200,000 yan. Para makita ko separately na if I'm meeting my yearly goal. Pero, yung pera na yan, mapupunta po yan sa insurance company because mas maganda ang tubo doon. If nothing happens to me, hindi ako magkasakit, hindi ako ma-stroke, and etc., then the money that I put in the insurance becomes my retirement plan at malaki po ang tubo niyan kaysa sa bangko natin linalagay. So, I don't want you to put your retirement savings into the bank. Get a VUL instead. Okay?
Yes.
Right. So, talk to your agents. If you have a friend na insurance agents, talk to them more about it so that your retirement funds, lagyan nyo po dito. Alright. Right, sorry. So, yeah, let's
Here.
talk about insurance. That's accident insurance, life insurance, health, property, vehicle injury. Ang dami pong klase insurance. Ang gusto ko lang po talaga is, pinaka-importante is really your VUL, variable unit link insurance. Right?
Yes.
Continue invest in real estate, rental, and property. Ito pala, investments na ito. So, go ahead, Mark. John.
Okay. So, meron din ako nabasa about insurance, Sir Lloyd. So, I'm not a financial advisor, but a question to everyone. So, if a goal and target in mind, how much do you advise yung dapat na insurance protection nila?
Alright, so how much do I advise magkano yung protection nila? Let me go full screen on that kasi magandang question yan. Depends on how much you want to get if ever magkasakit kayo. Right? To be safe, be protected for 2 million kasi usually ang bills nasa 1 million to 2 million. That's on the average. Kung gusto nyo po specialist talaga, mas mahal. So, you decide to that. It really depends on how much you want to get when you really need the money. Okay? So, for me, generally, if you have already 2 million of protection, that's already a good cushion for you in case something happens to you. Okay, John?
Okay. Sige, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, go. So, eto na. So, this is what we're waiting for. So, again, to summarize everything. So, we change our mindset. We actually plan our budget. We actually know already the first part. We manage the budget. We get protection. Then, we go to investment. Again, hindi mo siya as a newbie or bago ka in terms of finances, hindi mo siya pwedeng pagsabay-sabayin because again, it will break. It's like a table glass. You put everything too much in it and then you only have one source of income, it will break. That's why nakaplano siya accordingly, step by step. If wala ka pang emergency fund, don't go to investment first. If wala ka pang insurance, wag ka muna mag-invest. Or
Yes.
if wala ka naman dependent, pwede ka to go to investment. But if you have someone to protect to, then protection first.
Yes, very good very good on that point. I forgot to mention that. Pinakauna po ang protection, right? Because one thing in life for sure, na meron talaga is the uncertainty. We don't know what will happen tomorrow, right? Just in case something happens to you, you already know what to do. And with just a little na savings, you are protected at the same time. That's why before you go to other forms of investments, you have to get insurance. Please, mag-insurance po kayo. Masasayang lang po ang panahon ninyo. If you put your money into stock market, kasi mabilis ang kita sa stock market, if something happens to you, mabebenta mo yung stocks mo and you end up with nothing. If you have insurance, insurance is gonna protect you. Your stocks in the stock market are gonna hold on because hindi mo magagastos kasi meron kang perang natanggap from your insurance. That's how important insurance is.
Yes. And at the same time, kung wala kang emergency fund, you go to investment, pag kailangan mo bigla ng pera, i-withdraw mo din, same thing happens.
Tama. Very good.
So, talagang dapat siya structured and by step talaga siya. Okay? So, there. So, we have different investments that you can actually choose. That's what we're going to tackle about. So, first is about rental property, condo flipping, then we have bonds, ETF and mutual fund, the Pag-ibig MP2 fund, and even stock market. So if you, again, very important ang principle behind. If you go first in my next slide, Sir Lloyd, please.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. So again, in investment, always focus on the long term. Okay, so get away from quick rich scheme. If the person will ask you na, oy, kikita ka dito ng 30%, 50% lang buwan, stay away from it. 3, investment rules: never invest something you don't understand, no matter how profitable it is. It may be. So talagang wag kang mag-invest sa isang bagay na hindi mo alam at hindi mo inaalam.
Yeah.
At second, never invest on the function of trust. Dahil tiwala ka sa kaibigan mo, dahil tiwala ka sa nag-refer sa'yo na very close friend, never invest on that. Because actually, sabi nga ng one expert I heard, the people who close to us are the person who can actually hurt us more.
Right.
Diba? So last but not the least, in terms of investment, focus on the long term. And last but not the least, never invest out of greed. Kasi yun ang problema pag nasa quick rich scheme tayo, Sir Lloyd, diba?
Yeah.
Yung greed natin yung lumalabas So parang, I want to be rich kaagad. So never invest out of greed. The higher interest rates, that's where we're going to tackle about, the higher the risk ang maglalabas.
Right,
so actually, sabi nga nila, all of us has different levels of greed, Sir Lloyd. Diba? Grade 1, grade 2, grade 3.
Sa Cebu lang yan. Sa mga Bisaya lang yan.
Diba? So there you go. So so everyone, here's the different investment you can put your money on. First is the Pag-ibig MP2 fund. So Sir Lloyd.
Yes, sir, it is.
So it has a dividend rate last 2017 of 8.11%.
Yeah,
That's
John, I wanna cut this for the meantime. I wanna put this in. How much percentage, how much income kasi? Because I wanna share to you this story, okay? I wanna share this story to everyone. I talked to a friend of mine who was a victim of a very big scam here in Cebu. Hindi lang siya sa Cebu. I won't name the organization, but they involve about baboy po yung involved nila. So, they were promising 30% monthly returns, di ba? So, nawala yung pera niya. He lost almost $500,000 of it because of that. And so, I introduced him to an investment program, and I told him na, "Bay, dito ka lang pumasok kasi eto pa, at least, legit, may makikita mo talaga yung farms. Ganito, ganyan." And then he asked me, how much is the returns? Then I replied to him, yung first batch na binigay namin was 20% annual. Annual po. So she said, that's for 1 year, 20%? So sabi niya, ay, ayoko, ang bagal. So, that was his comment, right? So, I understand. I told him, yes, talagang mabagal yan kasi legitimate. Punta ka doon sa mas malaki, most probably scam yan. So, that's my point. So, I made him understand how much talaga is small and big when it comes to passive income investments. Okay? So, here, since you are an expert in real estate, John, so here in Cebu, I want to ask you, for a 3 million property, 3M property, if you want to rent a 3 million property out, let's say a condominium, how much do you get monthly yan, rental?
Okay, for a 3 million property, if you want to rent out, first it depends upon the location. That's one, no?
On average,
On average, better you get the 5% out of it. So if
5%.
the 3 million is around 15,000, I think.
So,
Oo.
15,000 pesos.
Yes.
Right. So, 15,000 rental. Minus pa yan yung maintenance. May masira pa yan dyan. So, minus the maintenance plus it's not all that time na meron nagre-renta dyan. So, on average, let's say you will get around 13,000 a month. Right? Linis na yan. So, 13,000 times 12. 13,000 times 12. Let me get my calculator again. 13,000 times 12. That's 156,000. 156K a year. So I asked my friend, pare, kung meron kang 156,000 a year for your investment in the house, is that okay with you already? So he said, oo, sobrang okay na yan. Sobrang okay pa yung term niya. Sobrang okay na niyang 156,000. Okay, that's already good for you as an investment. So I asked him, let's do the math. How much is 156,000 pesos percentage of a 3 million peso investment? So if we do the math, calculator, 156,000 divided by 3 million. Right, so it ended up with just around 5%. Okay? So you told me that 156,000 is already enough for you, but that's only 5% of your 3 million. How come if you are given a 10% investment opportunity that is less that is less risky, you don't want it? Diba? So 5% annual is already very good. That's already okay. Now if we put in, so if you're into real estate, the average property appreciation, how much is the average property appreciation every year on all the properties in Philippines, John?
10 to 20% annually.
10 to
In the whole example is 3 million, it's 300 to 600,000
Right.
range.
So all in all, na yung property mo na 3 million, 15% is already very good. Alright? So 5%, pero ang problema nito sa appreciation is not liquid na investment. So if you can look for a different investment scheme that gives you 10%, which is very liquid and low risk, that's already very good. Okay? So that's already very good, actually. So now, at least napakita po namin sa inyo that how much is already very good as a passive income investment. So hopefully hindi na po kayo maloko ng mga get rich quick schemes, because 30% a month is how much in a year. So sinasabi nila na so magta times 300%, 360%, 360% ang pera itutubo mo in a year.
Meron pa nga 400% per month eh.
Oo nga eh. But
Oo.
360% a year tubo of your money, man. Kaya nga po, sinasabi nila is monthly na lang kasi 30% lang, hindi gaanong scam pakinggan. Kasi pag sinabi nila, uy, tutubo mo yung pera mo ng times 3 in a year, hindi na kayo maniniwala. Kaya nila binreakdown na 30% monthly kasi para hindi ganong scam pakinggan. But in reality, that is very, very, very,
Yes.
very big.
Can I share about Ponzi scheme, Sir Lloyd?
Yes po.
Kasi how do the mga manloloko to do it, no? So example, seaman ka. So sige, I have where do you want to put your money? In the bank for saving. So 1% lang dyan, I can give you roughly 10% to 20% or 30% monthly. So, sige, pero para to just try, if you have 2 million investment, try mo lang muna yung 1 million. That's how they do it, no? Plus, at the same time, para secured ka, I'll give you post-dated checks. Okay. So, bigyan ka post-dated check 50,000 sa buwan. Okay, so may return eh, may pumapasok sa'yo kasi binigyan ka post-dated checks. So, after 6 months o 1 year, pagpasok sa'yo ng balikan ka ng ikaw yung investor, what will you do? will you pull out or will you roll?
The greed starts to kick in.
Yes. So the grid starts to kick in,
Kasi may payout ako 50,000 a month eh. So I'm
'di
paying
ba?
out.
From doing nothing, 'di ba? From doing nothing, 30% gid na, 50,000 gid na isang buwan. So what we're going to do is, of course, hindi na yung 1 million. Isusugal mo na yung 2 million in that round. Then that's where the Ponzi scheme or scam goes. So papatiwala ka lang nila, it's either yung binayad mong 1 million, yung binalik sa yung 50,000, kanino galing? Sa'yo lang din yung pera.
Oo.
So, or coming from other person's investment. So, kawawa yung mga naloloko pagdating dito.
Alright, so yeah,
Sige, go.
let's make this quicker. So yeah,
Okay.
it's already
Sige.
10:42.
Yes, so ito na yung mga different investments. So, Pag-ibig MP2 Fund is a government fund handled by the government,
So if
gives
you're
different
very
rates.
good. If you're looking
Monthly,
for if you're looking
yes.
for low risk investments, government po ang nag-handle nito, so it's very sure na hindi po ito scam.
Yes. So you can have a lump sum or monthly. So disadvantage lang of this is, of course, magkataas yung interest rates siya, but disadvantage, the government, you need to go there and then file, di ba? So yung medyo convenience lang. Okay, so the next is cooperatives and business
Yeah,
organization.
but yes, I want you to go into this because ang lock-in po nito is just for 5 years.
5 years.
So if
5 years.
ever ang plano nyo is 5 years, I wanna buy a house. So sa ngayon, iniipon nyo yung pera pambili ng bahay sa 5 years from now. Ilagay nyo lang po sa MP2 kasi mas magaling po magtubo dito kaysa sa bangko nyo po ilagay. Okay? For short-term savings, for a house, for a car, 5 years from now, put it in MP2 program po. Okay?
Okay, Sir Lloyd, go. Yan.
And cooperatives and business organizations. Marami po kasing business organizations and cooperatives na pwede nating we can diversify into, right? Cooperatives are businesses na non-profit naman. They are, what do you call this, legalized by the government to help certain sectors of the community. Okay? So you can invest in these businesses and depende po magkano po ang binibigay nila, yun po ang return sa inyo. I just gave you an example kanina sa cooperatives. One of the best cooperatives here in Cebu is CFI and AMSLI. Si AMSLI is 18% but sadly it's only for military personnel. Si CFI dati was open but somehow medyo nahirapan na sila. But we're gonna make a different episode about cooperatives. What are the best cooperatives you can get in out there? And business organizations. Meron din business organizations out there na pwede kayong mag-invest also. One of the investment opportunity that I want to share with you is mangingisda.org. If you want to learn more about mangingisda.org, just go to the website mangingisda.org and then just click on this button right here which says view full video of our costs, and then you can also go to our Facebook page which is mangingisda.org also. Alright, so mangingisda.org. May nag-mention dito kanina sa comments parang org asterisk po ito, sir, yung na-mention natin. So, this is similar to this, right? What you do, this organization, please watch the video so that you'll understand more about this. I don't want to discuss it here kasi masyadong mahaba po yan. Pero the thought is, the organization of fishermen here are selling their fishes to you, right? Pinabenta po ang mga isda sa inyo. Right? So ibenta nila sa inyo and then they will offer their part of the service is sila na po ang mag-iingat at mag-aalaga ng mga isda for you, and they will manage the sales to you. And then mag-share profits na lang kayo sa benta after. Okay?
Sir Lloyd, question. So
Yes.
how does it differ from Organico, the other Ponzi scheme?
Sinabi
This
mo na
one.
talaga yung pangalan.
Ay, sorry.
Alright, so
Okay.
actually ang problema doon sa yung sinabi mo unang pangalan, Organico, their business procedure was supposed to be okay. Okay lang 'yon, right? Yung nagbebenta sila ng biik daw and then sila mag-alaga, sila magbebenta, then share profits after. That's okay. The problem there is they cannot provide the financials. They cannot prove that they have the farms enough to accommodate the influx of investors. Eto si mangingisda.org, we are closed right now for investors. Magkakaroon lang ng open na mga slots ulit this January because farms are not unlimited. That was the problem with Organico you mentioned earlier. Hindi nila ma-prove yung farms nila. Then that's where everything became fishy because unlimited na yung investors. And how is that possible when farms are only limited and they cannot show their farms?
Tama.
The difference here in mangingisda.org is if you go to the website, if you go to the Facebook page, makikita nyo talaga dito ang farm updates, right? These are the fishermen out there. This is me letting you understand the business. This is the manager, Mr. Desi Bazar. He's a former BFAR, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources National Director. So this is his expertise. And pinapakita po namin ang farm. We give you updates on all the fishes. And po, this was the moment where we transfer na po namin yung mga isda into the fish cages. Even the construction of the cages are there. So everything is transparent. Even the earnings after the harvest, we're gonna show it to you.
So meaning the investors are limited.
Hindi ko na share. So yeah, in the Facebook page, po, makikita niyo po dito ang mga isda. Makikita niyo po talaga. You're not blind. You are really able to see even the construction of the cages during the constructions. Makikita niyo po diyan, and we have constant updates to you guys about this. Right? So andyan po yung mga isda sa likod. Makikita niyo talaga. And this was during the construction. So, the first batches, since it's the pilot project, ang ginaranti po ng mangingisda.org was 20%, right? Profit sharing. So, 20% growth of your money when you buy the fishes. But of course, share din po yung risk. If you want to learn more about the risks involved, check out the website or check out the videos of mangingisda.org. Okay? And the consecutive next mga batches most probably is we're gonna be hitting 15% to 20% hopefully. Okay? So yeah, this is an opportunity for you guys. Meron pong page dyan. You can send a message. If you have any questions, you can go to the website so that you can get the FAQ. There is a website. It's just mangingisda.org. Right? So meron pong FAQ dito para malaman nyo po more questions about it. And the Facebook page. Andyan po yan. Okay? So, let me go back to the presentation. Oops, nawala. Alright, I want to minimize this. Alright, so yeah, John, you have want to continue?
Okay, so we go to bonds. So
Alright.
this is also one way for you to safely invest your money because it's a debt security which the issuer owes a holder debt to a company or preferred shares. So then ang pinaka maganda dito, it's may period of time lang siya, then ibabalik sa'yo yung. So how do you access this? On the next slide, of course, it's government securities, corporate loans, preferred shares, and then your target maturity is 1 to 3 years. Okay, so how do you access this? If you open a broker account such as COL Financial, are we going to let them see it, Sir Lloyd, o no time na tayo?
Wala na tayong time but yeah.
Okay, so if you open an account, you can invest there. You can basta as long as the bond fund ang pangalan, then it's the bond. So it's 1 to 3 years, and then it's actually growing around 3 to 5% annually. Okay, so very safe siya, very conservative. Alright? Mutual fund is a pool of fund. So if mutual fund is handled by a broker, UITF is handled by a bank. So if you want to invest in mutual fund, of course, open a broker account or go directly to a bank na magkakausapin mo sila. So marami siyang company dyan. Phil Equity, Sun Life, Alpha, mandami. And then they have, it's either equity or equity index. Equity index is just, it copied the whole PSEI market.
Right.
The
So,
equity, yes, go.
Yes, I want to also share, sa Philippines lang ito na UITF, you also have the options to invest funds in the international market through eToro. Pero po dito, copy portfolios. You want a fund that is managed by Mr. Warren Buffett himself. Meron pong option dito. You can invest in Mr. Warren Buffett's funds through eToro. This is already up, let's say, for this year, his fund is already up 18% already. So if you started this January with Mr. Warren Buffett, yung funds niyo kumita na ng 18%, which is right here. Okay, so this is for international option also, which is what I also recommend kasi mas malaki ang mga companies in the international markets.
Yes. So at least you have an option between in the PSE Philippine setting or international. So you have EOL, you have eToro for international as well. So okay. So next slide. Of course, this is my one of my expertise. Of course, how to invest in real estate. So
Medyo
uh,
nasira yung slide, but
nasa
it's okay.
slide natin. Okay. So you have two options. Okay. So I have property or condo, and then you have different strategies that you want to invest. You buy at a very low price and then sell it a higher price. We call it condo flipping. All right? Sa main disadvantage lang, of course, you will gain the amount na kinita mo if you liquidate the property.
Alright, you
Okay?
have to sell the
So,
property, you mean, di ba?
yes. So, ang ginagawa, if they buy a pre-selling and then if naubos yung unit, example in a condo, then of course 10 to 20% a year ang increase niyan. And then example of 3 million naging 4.5, benta mo ng 4 million, of course may kakagat niyan lalo na pag nakita na yung building na tinatayo.
Yes,
You will
tama.
just pay for a redocumentation na tinatawag nila. It's range around 10 to 25,000. And then, ang mangyayari is mag-uusap lang kayo ng ikaw yung may-ari and then the buyer, mag-uusap kayo dun sa difference. And
Alright.
then he will just continue, the new buyer will just continue yung binabayad niya. And then, yung difference, pag-uusapan nyo kung magkano yon and how many years yung
Instant
kinikita.
money.
So, yes, yung money na sobra. Example, 3 million, naging 4 million, 1 million sa'yo. Paano natin pag-uusapan down payment and then post-dated check as well.
Alright.
Okay?
Yeah. So I want to emphasize on this because this is how most of my friends are earning in the real estate. This is the importance of having good cash flow. Kasi pag meron kayong savings na malaki, people can take advantage of this are people who have money available. That's why I want you to save. That's the importance of having money. This is the reason why the rich keeps getting rich because they have the money to take advantage of these opportunities. Kung wala kayong pera, you won't be able to take advantage of this. That's why it's important to save money.
Yes, definitely, Sir Lloyd. And what's actually then sad in Cebu, and actually I can even relate in Manila as well, the fluctuate of investors in terms of real estate, you know what? It's in foreigners. I definitely can attest na talagang even in a condo, they're buying the whole floor. Okay,
Alright, tama.
so the one that are enjoying the appreciation of real estate in the Philippines is Chinese and foreigners. So that's why we need to grab this opportunity while it's booming, while it's growing. And then again, save first then before you invest on this aspect. All right? So you can, since also in Cebu, if you're from Cebu, the rental income here in Cebu through Airbnb and even tourists is very high, especially if you're getting a condo or a property near the airport or near the resorts. Of course, the guests will stay in a cheaper price compared to a hotel. That's one way of doing that.
Tama.
All right? So, of course, and then at the same time, if ayaw mo na lahat, ibenta mo yung property, then property appreciation come in, tumubo ka pa din in the future. Again, the disadvantage lang is when you liquidate this yung property, dun kakikita. Yun yung disadvantage ng property.
Tama.
All right?
Okay.
So, here's the next slide will just tell you ano yung maganda ng pre-selling. Ito lang yung pinaka para to put it in a pinaka mabilis na statement. Get the best deal paying of equity. Example, if one is selling 3 million and then the equity usually is 20%, and then one developer is having a promo of 10 to 15%, nabawasan yung binabayad mo monthly. When let's say example there in the graph, you're paying only just 8,000 a month. Okay? 8,000 a month, then the property location is very good. You need to identify first the property location is very good. Example in the key city like within Ayala or IT Park. And then what's good about you're just paying the 8,000 pesos per month, but the appreciation value is not based on 8,000 pesos that you're paying. It's basing from the total contract price, which is 3 million. So how much is that? So if the property grew around 20% in 1 year, yung 3 million mo naging 3.6 na. So how much lang yung binayad mo? Almost 100,000 lang. That's what's good about in buying a pre-selling. It's actually just like stocks. If you buy it a pre-selling, buy low, sell high.
Right.
Or you can buy an RFO if you depende kasi sa timeline mo, independent din sa budget mo. So if you want to buy an RFO, Then you just base the 5%, then you compute the rental income niyan sa around, sabihin natin 15,000 if that's a good condo or a good property already. And what's the magic? The magic there is it's paying its own. If you have a long term or short term na nag-rent on to that property.
Right.
So you have property. If you have questions, you can let me know. How can I help you with the property? So let's go to the stocks.
All right.
Stocks
So
is
stocks is same with properties, as much as possible. Ito yung last level of investment ninyo, because sa property it's good, but it's the disadvantage is liquidity. Kaya baka po magka-emergency kayo, wala kayo ibang investments, baka mahirapan kayo magbenta sa property niyo. If you really need the money to sell, you'll be able to sell, you will be selling your property for a low price, right? Liquidity is one of the challenges in real estate. So as much as possible, it should be money that you will not need. Meron kayong emergency funds, okay? So dito sa stocks naman, same with this. This is one of the high risk, high reward investments. Pinakamalaking kita na legitimate, pero high risk din. Malaki din ang chances na baka matalo kayo kasi baka malugi yung company na ini-invest niyo. So I have a video about this. If you want to know more about this, please go to my YouTube channel, search for Financial Freedom 101. YouTube.com, and then search for Financial Freedom 101. Financial Freedom. This is my YouTube channel, so please subscribe. So if you go to Financial Freedom 101, ang pinakaunang video po makikita ninyo, this is already for returning subscribers. Pero may makikita po yung pinakaunang video dyan, which is how to get rich in the stock market. That is a more intensive video about stock market, so you'll understand it more. Explain po natin doon the basics of the stock market, everything you need to know to start. Okay, now ito lang, I want you to understand how can you earn in the stock market. Pwede pong capital gains. Number one, if you buy the company and if the company does well in the future, for example, si Jollibee, si SMPH, mukhang palaki si SM, then habang lumalaki si SM, lumalaki rin yung investments mo sa kanya. Dividends, these companies give out dividends, parang regalo po nila sa mga nag-invest sa kanila. Nagbibigay po sila ng dividends, and that's how you earn also. Per stock you have, meron po silang binibigay na pera. Then buying and selling, so basically you buy the stocks, and then if the stock prices go up, you have the option to sell it. So medyo mas nakakapagod yan compared to the first one, which is hayaan mo lang tumubo ang company. And last one is, I want to emphasize on this copy trading. Ito po yung pinakasimple na merong traders na nagte-trade po para sa inyo. All you need to do is copy them. Whatever they earn, going onwards, you also earn in return. So please check out copy trading also. Siguro itong stocks na ito, I have videos about this. Maybe pwede na natin hindi muna itong pag-usapan, because I'll give you a link of the video about this na lang siguro, because we don't have enough time anymore. Okay? What companies to buy? Want to buy stock market? So sige, next week, at least we have a topic for next week. Okay, John? Will that be okay?
Sure.
Sige, so we're gonna focus again on stock market, most probably in the next episode for next week. Let's go international sa eToro kasi is easy platform, copy trade program, meron pong copy trade program. If you wanna create an eToro account, it's for free. Meron po dyan sa video description link to create an account. If you want to support the channel, please use that link. Malaking suporta po yan sa YouTube channel natin. Create a free eToro account. Pag nag-create po kayo ng free account, you don't need to fund it. It will give you access to the platform. Meron po dyang virtual funds that you can practice on your own para you will know how to navigate the platform, and then when you're ready, that's when you put money in it. Okay, investments in bigger companies, mas malaki po ang companies sa international markets. For example, si Facebook, you want to invest in Facebook. Si Facebook kasi, unlike sa companies here in the Philippines, for example, si SM or si Ayala, mga Pinoy lang, within the country lang ang nasa-serve nila. But companies abroad like Facebook, Google, hindi lang po sa US ang market nila. Even sa kahit anong sulok ng mundo, nasa-serve nila may Facebook. So, very big companies. This is stocks, commodities, gold and oil. You can trade on this. Currencies, USD to 72 pesos. So, pwede kayo mag-forex din sa eToro. Right? So, a little share about this. For example, sa eToro dito, you wanna copy people. For example, let's look for people. You just click on this and then meron po dito very transparent. You will see how traders are performing para makita nyo po. I want you to scroll down and then look for lower risk. Kung ayaw nyo po masyadong malaki yung risk na trader, dyan kayo sa lower risk, or you wanna go to medium risk score, and you can go to this guy. For example, this guy, Zimin Letel, is giving us his return last 12 months is 71%. So if you want to earn possibly 71% in the next 12 months, you look for this. You click on this guy. If you click on this guy, his statistics are there. This is his performance for the last few months. So may months na nag-gain siya ng 15%. May months you can see the negative months also. It's very transparent. Negative 10.33. August negative 4 po siya, but September is plus 16. For October plus 60 po siya, plus 6.84. So ang total niya for this year is already up 22.41% gains. Kanina nag-uusap tayo, 10% is already very good. If you want a high risk, high reward investment, then go for copy trading. 22% for this year. Meron pa tayong October, November, December, so most probably lalaki pa yung gains niya for this year. So everything is transparent, even makikita nyo po ano yung mga tinitrade niya. So this guy is trading forex. All you need to do is click on copy and put in how much you want. It's in dollars. Maybe your budget is just $1,000. Ang minimum po dito is $200. You can already copy people. I recommend starting with around $1,000 and then just copy, and then whatever he earns onwards, maybe 5 months from now, he will earn 10%, then you are gonna earn 10% also. So that's the beauty of copy trading. Sila na po ang magta-trade para sa inyo. So this is a good avenue for large, bigger rewards, bigger risk kasi we're dealing with stocks. Okay? Flex, can I start investing in stocks at age of 15? Sadly, you can start only at 18 kasi may tax po ito. Sir, sa MP2 from Ketamine, Sir, sa MP2, nagbabago ba ang percentage pag-increase niya pera per year? Magkano average niya? Right now, yes. Historically, si MP2, nag-change talaga yan depending on the economy of the country and the investments. So right now, the economy is doing well and we have good projections, so most probably we're gonna have good returns. But for the past 3 years, 8, 7, 8, and then this year is another 8. So for the past 4 years, nag 8% po yung average niya. Okay, so that's very good returns for MP2 program. Alright, let's see if we still have some for here. So copy trade, ito yung copy trade kanina. We explained this already. So let's just skip this for now, John, okay? Because we don't have time anymore. It's already 11.
Yes.
So next week, next Saturday, let's talk about stocks and copy trading and other forms of investment in stock market, also opportunities in stock market. That should be a very good topic. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah, and you have anything to add, John?
Okay, so to my last slide, if you go to the last slide there, don't click on the link. So actually, just to close on my part is, you only need to start small. You do not need millions to start investing. Start small amount and do it wisely, regularly and consistently. And then last but not the least, start small and think big.
All right, very good.
Okay. So start small, think big. It will be bigger in the future.
So I wanna emphasize on that thought again, guys. Sabi ko sa inyo kanina, if you do not know how to manage 10,000 pesos, kahit po by 100,000 kayo, hindi po kayo marunong mag-manage diyan. Right? You have to learn from small amounts. If you can manage a 10,000, you know where to place it, maybe in a VUL, in an MP2, and other cooperatives or stock market. If you are able to let the 10,000 grow, imagine what you can do if you have 100,000 pesos. Even the smallest passive income is already good. Everything adds up. Okay? So, start small and manage your money properly as early as now habang maliit pa lang ang savings ninyo. Because you're gonna do well if you have big money in the future. Alright, so that's it for today. We'll see you again next week for another episode of The Rich Mind, and we'll talk most probably more about stock market also and cooperatives kasi yun yung parang na-skip natin for today. So we'll make a good presentation for you guys for next weekend. My name is Lloyd Bazar. I'm a financial literacy speaker and a coach in trading and stock market. And this is John. John,
Yes, I'm John. So thank you for the opportunity, Sir Lloyd, and thanks everyone. So God bless and have a nice day.
you too. As always, let's get rich together. Bye, everyone. See you next week. Let me just end.